Welcome back to Access Sportsnet. The Galaxy are back home after 3 straight away from StubHub, but they have 3 games in 9 days coming up. First, it's the Cali Classico on Friday, then another matchup with FC Dallas, a team they lost to back on May 12th, and they travel to Portland a few days later to take on the Timbers. Finally, Real Salt Lake visits LA before the Galaxy get 3 weeks off, thanks in part to the World Cup break. It's still early, but the Galaxy are right in the thick of the playoff race, sitting in a tie for 7th place with 2 other teams. And as you saw on the schedule, 4 straight Western Conference matchups coming up, 3 of them against teams that are either tied or ahead of them in the table. Up next is one team behind, and that's the Earthquakes in the standings. But this rivalry, you throw the record books out the window.
It's always a special game for us and them, and you know, even though we have LAFC around the corner, it's still a huge game for us. And I mean, even taking away whoever it was, even if it's another team, you know, we know we need to win this game, especially at home.
We know we're going to miss quality in Jonah and Gio, and don't know who else is going. Anyone else?
Ola's going away for a little while.
Is he? Yeah. So no, we're going to miss kind of our key players. So. Like you mentioned, the other players who've kind of not been playing have been on the fringes. They have to come up and step up, and you know, who knows if they're playing well, then they stay in the team. So it's a big kind of incentive for them to stay fit, work hard in training, and take their chance when it comes.
Obviously, yeah, the next game is going to be what proves it. We can't just have that performance and just think, you know, that's going to take care of everything else. We have to come out aggressively and play and, you know, work hard for each other just as we did in the last game to get the kind of results we want.
Well, it's nice to be at home. You know, for us, it's always shifting lineups a little bit, so we get to change lineups again a little bit. So from that standpoint, you know, we get a different look. You know, San Jose has been, you know, they've played 5 in the back for a couple of games. They went to 4-4-2 in the second half. So a little bit uncertain whether they're coming with 5 or coming with 4 in the back. But we'll have to adjust to it.
Joined again by Adam Serrano. Tough stretch for the Galaxy coming up here. You got the quick turnaround against San Jose. Then they have a young, fast team in FC Dallas. How important is this stretch?
I think it's must win. You know, you hate to say that this early in the season, but you know, after the kind of slide the Galaxy went through over the last few months, really since that LAFC game, I think this is very important for them to sort of build back up and build their confidence up. And I think that you have to start climbing the table, and what better do than Western Conference teams?
No Zlatan against San Jose. What do you expect the lineup to look like?
You know what? I think we're going to see a similar lineup than we saw in the beginning of the season. You know, hopefully you see maybe Giovanni Dos Santos, you see Jonathan Dos Santos. I think what the big thing is you're going to see Ola Kamara up top, and we can see from that Montreal game, that's really his position. That's what he wants to do, and I think he flourishes there.
Do you still see Ema coming off the bench and playing that role maybe in the last 25 minutes or so?
I think that's sort of to be determined right now. I think you look at Gio and his health, where that is. Yeah. But I think Ema's been fantastic over the last few weeks.
Were you surprised by that sub?
I think so, a little bit. I thought that Sebastian was playing well. I thought Roman had his energy, but you know, Ema's been chomping at the bit. I think you have to give him credit for that, and I think that really shows in his play recently.
Giovanni Dos Santos has missed the past 2 games. He wants to make that roster for Mexico for the World Cup. Is it important for him to play Friday? Does Mexico need to see him play?
I think you want to see him play.
You've talked to him, right?
If you want Carlos Osorio, you want to see him play. And I've spoken to him. I can clearly see that he wants to get back on the field. I think that's very key for him. He really wants to go to this World Cup. He's been last 2 World Cups for Mexico. He wants to really solidify that legacy with his country. And I think that at least being on the bench against San Jose will definitely boost his confidence and boost his fitness. So I think that going into the last few weeks of deciding whether or not he's going to make the World Cup, it's crucial.
What does your gut tell you? Plays or not on Friday?
I think he's on the bench.
Did you sense he was concerned?
I think he's concerned. I think, you know, if you're a player, I think we build these guys up so much, and we think that, you know, they're not human, but a chance to go to the World Cup is pretty much as big as you can possibly get. So I think that to feel a little worry, I think that's human, and that's natural.
Your rival, Laker insider Mike Bresnan, was very impressed last week that you actually went against everything you always do here when you predicted not a win for the Galaxy, but a draw. He thinks that motivated the LA Galaxy. What are you picking for Friday?
You know, I would love to follow that because maybe the results would be the same, but I think that the results would be the same regardless of my prediction. And I honestly cannot pick anything less than a win against the San Jose Earthquakes because this is the Galaxy's biggest rivalry, and the fans will take nothing more than a win. I'll take nothing more than a win.
For the 133rd time out of 134, Galaxy are getting a win. I like that. All right, Rolf Felcher said this: sometimes you must hurt in order to know, fail in order to grow, lose in order to gain, because most of life's greatest lessons are learned through pain. And of course, there he is flexing, looking pretty good. What do you think of that?
I mean, what a poet. I didn't know he had it in him.
Yep.
I mean, his Google search is very good to find those pros right there. But
you got a lot of likes there?
I mean, look at him. You gotta like it. I mean, that's just, you see that up in your feed, you just gotta push like.
I feel like I'm looking in the mirror. All right, still to come. Kuz and Josh Hart aren't stopping in the offseason. Their social media war is must see. We'll show you the latest episode next.